On July 4th, 1826, John Adams lay on his deathbed in his ancestral home in Quincy. The cicadas chirping outside the window waned, their melody fading into the stillness of the room. His eyes, clouded with the weight of years, fixed upon a copy of the Declaration of Independence adorning the wall. In the soft, flickering glow of the candle, the ghostly silhouette of George Washington seemed to materialize, a spectral reminder of days long past. These two revolutionary comrades in arms had once stood shoulder to shoulder amidst the smoke and chaos of Philadelphia, their hearts united in the cause of freedom. Yet, as the tides of power ebbed and flowed, they found themselves on diverging paths, their friendship and differences weaving a narrative as intricate as it was poignant. It was a duet, one that resonated through the annals of America's founding, a symphony of loyalty and divergence. In 1735, the salt-kissed breeze of Boston Harbor caressed the face of a 10-year-old John Adams. Meanwhile, in the verdant tobacco fields of Virginia, George Washington rode with the grace of a man born to the saddle. Their destinies, like two rivers meandering through history, converged at the First Continental Congress in 1774. The moment Adams laid eyes on the colonel from Virginia, he was entranced by Washington's stoic demeanor, a rock amidst the tempest of political discourse. When Adams spoke with passion and fervor, Washington, a silent sentinel in the corner, emerged as a stalwart defender at the first sign of dissent. "The fire in this gentleman's words is the very spark we need to ignite our cause," he declared, his voice a thunderclap in the hallowed halls of democracy. During Adams' days as a law student at Harvard College, Washington was engaged in a different battle, one waged on the frontier against the French. Though worlds apart, they were kindred spirits, each fighting for liberty in their own arena. When Adams' scathing critique of the Stamp Act graced the pages of the newspaper, Washington, ensconced in his study at Mount Vernon, read it with a sense of admiration. The pen of this Boston lawyer cuts as sharply as any blade. He penned in his diary, a testament to Adams' power with words. In Philadelphia in 1776, Adams became a lion in the den of the Continental Congress. He battled against the odds, championing the cause of independence with unwavering resolve. Not only did he spearhead the adoption of the Declaration of Independence, but he also anointed Washington as the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army. In a letter to his beloved wife, Abigail, he waxed lyrical. "Washington alone has the metal to unite the colonies. His steadfastness is like the ancient oaks of Virginia, unyielding in the face of adversity." Washington, humbled by the trust placed in him, admitted, "Without Mr. Adams' faith in me, I fear the burden of command would have crushed me long ago." As the war raged on, Adams embarked on a diplomatic odyssey to Europe, while Washington weathered the harsh winter at Valley Forge. Their correspondence, a lifeline across the ocean, carried the weight of their hopes and fears. Adams scoured the courts of Europe for funds to sustain the army, while Washington, in the frozen trenches, shared the grim realities of war. When Adams faced the cold shoulder at the French court, Washington's words, penned with warmth and empathy, became a beacon of hope. "Your perseverance is a testament to America's indomitable spirit. Europe will come to see our worth." However, with the sweet taste of victory on their lips, the seeds of discord began to germinate. After Washington's tenure as president came to an end, Adams ascended to the highest office, inheriting a powder keg of tensions with France. Eschewing the path of war advocated by his cabinet, he opted for diplomacy, a decision that set him at odds with Washington's more hawkish stance. In the stillness of the night, Adams confided in his diary, "George may well be disappointed, but I cannot, in good conscience, plunge our nation into a needless conflagration." In 1797, Adams took up residence in the president's house, a building still echoing with the sounds of construction. In a letter to Abigail, he jested, "The drafts may blow through these rooms, but at least they carry the voices of our people." Even in retirement at Mount Vernon, Washington kept a watchful eye on Adams' presidency. When Adams' signing of the Alien and Sedition Acts ignited a firestorm of controversy, Washington reached out in private, his counsel a blend of understanding and caution. "I comprehend your predicament, but do not let fear overshadow the light of freedom." Adams' feelings towards Washington were a complex tapestry of admiration and conflict. He revered Washington's leadership, yet was critical of his embrace of elite politics. He envied Washington's widespread adoration, but remained steadfast in his own principles. In a letter penned after leaving office, he laid bare his soul. "We marched to the same drumbeat in the beginning, yet our paths diverged." Perhaps this divergence is the very essence of America's strength. On that fateful July 4th in 1826, as Adams teetered on the brink of life and death, his murmured words, "Thomas Jefferson is still alive," were a poignant reminder of the bonds that had united these founding fathers. Unbeknownst to him, Jefferson had passed on mere hours earlier, and Washington's spirit had long since departed in the winter of 1799. Their lives, like constellations in the night sky, had burned bright, their light illuminating the path of a nation's birth. Adams' tombstone and Washington's monument, standing sentinel across the landscape, seemed to engage in a silent dialogue, a conversation that transcended time and space. Adams' life was indelibly marked by his association with Washington. Their collaboration had laid the cornerstone of the United States, while their differences had served as a safeguard for the nation's democratic ideals. As Adams reflected in his autobiography, "George's legacy is carved in deeds, while mine is etched in thought. Together, we painted the portrait of a nation's soul." And the candlelight in Quincy, a timeless beacon, continued to shine upon the deep-seated bond between these two giants of history, a bond forged in the crucible of ideals and tempered by the realities of governance.